everybody. Welcome to Let's Learn. I'm your excellent instructor. Today, guys, we are going to cover pivot tables. What is pivot table, guys? Pivot table actually is data summarization tool. And why do we use pivot table? Pivot table is used to summarize our data, or we can group by data to the requirement. So this is one of the best features available in Excel where we can explore more options. And this is amazing feature which is used for graphical representation also with multiple available or existing pivot charts. And this chart and the dashboard can easily be created in less than 5 minutes with its inbuilt functions, guys. So let me show you some examples which we have recorded in our slide where you can see those things. And we can replace blank cells, and these are some kind of uh, most used features with Excel. You can group by dates, format numbers, like the entire pivot table, removing calculated field, you know, add a calculated item, create a pivot chart, slicer, and change the number and save show value as. So, there are a lot more things which we will be covering today in this session. And there are two amazing shortcuts over there. Alt F5, refresh with the keyword shortcut and refresh everything in the workbook if you have all the pivot tables. So all pivot tables you can refresh by pressing Ctrl Alt F5. So that will be covered today in the session. So they are all highlights. This is again kind of data we are using. We have a data set with 213 records. So guys, what is records? Records is nothing but observations. 213 observations we have. If I call observations records, they are all kind of a language which we use in data set. When we talk about data, we use records, observations. Actually, six columns or six fields. And fields also you can use order ID, product, category, amount, date, and country. They're all six items or columns we are going to use in this data set. So let me go to next slide now. To create pivot table, you know, uh, there are lots of options available. But here we are creating table actually. What is table, guys? And if you this is the data set. If you do Control T, so this output will come table format. So let me jump to the Excel file and show you side by side. We can run these things, guys. This is the data which we talked about. How many observations are there in that, or how many records are there? 213 records are there. How many columns are there, guys? We have six columns are there. So you click anywhere, just press Control T, guys. Control T. Actually, there are two things. Either you select everything by yourself. This is actually how you can select this data. You put your cursor here, and then you can just select this entire thing. Control Shift arrow down. This entire data set is selected. And you can Control T. So this is the range that this actually it has covered. It has headers. Yes, my table has headers. Guys, you can see this is the this is the table which we have created. You can see on the top table name is called table 3. Now if you don't want table, if you want to come out of this, what actually you can do? You can see convert to range. If you click this entire table now will come back to normal table, but it will retain the format. You can see this is the format. This table has retained, but this is not a table, but this is amazing feature where you have to see the formatted table, and this looks really nice. So now you can see that. Let me you know Control Z, guys. So now you see this is the table. It has come back once I clicked Control Z, guys. Okay. So now you see this part. Let me just okay. Now you see if you click this, you can understand now. If you click somewhere else, beyond the pivot table area, there are only seven items are there. Seven tabs are available. Home, insert, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So eight tabs are available. Once you click this, you can see design is also activated on the top. I click over here, you see developer. And now once you click in this area of table, you see design is also created. You see that again. It is gone, now it is come back. So now you see, if you click on design, you see the table 3 is already there. Guys, now very simple. If you click insert slicer, So let me just go back to my PPT slide. What actually we are going to cover in that? Let's go by that only, so that we will not miss anything. Okay, and this is actually the data set, and this we use the data, that is clear. And now this is clear. Control T we use to create the table, and this is how the result will look like. All right, and now let me go back there. Create slicers. Guys, understand now why do we need slicers? And this actually I keep only one slide, four slides, sir. For slicer, this is only one slide where I'm trying to explain you guys that with the table you can easily insert slicer. So there is another way where you have to showcase this data to the client. For example, you cannot just go this way. This is actually the method which is outdated. Now we have the feature called insert slicer. Once you click that, intelligent, how intelligent is that? If you click somewhere else or insert slicer, it has captured all the header easily. Now I want a date, amount, and these slicers I want. Now you see the slicers are created, guys. You can just pass on, you can design according to your requirement, guys. And this is amazing feature, and this slicer we use to filter the data. Now you see that. So you can keep anywhere, guys. If I click a banana, so you see banana filter is applied. So you can just remove the filter. If you have to remove, you just click this, you can remove the filter. All right, now I want the date. Actually you can see this way. First you change the date format, control 1, and go to date. I want the date format in this way. So once you have the date format in this way, you have to go to data and refresh everything. All right, but date actually is going this way. You click this, nothing is coming, guys. Okay, so how you can do that? Maybe you can actually use this to your requirement. I want to Australia, so you can see Australia is filtered. I want France also, so Australia and France both have come. So you have to actually press control. If you want two options to be selected, control France, New Zealand, United Kingdom. I want three options. So you can see in the country column, we have three options are selected. I want one more. Press control and press Germany. So you can see Germany is also added here. All right. So this is how the data looks like. Guys, this is actually amazing feature when you are creating a dashboard. And in dashboard, generally we use array functions, which we have already covered. So with this beautiful feature, you can make amazing dashboard in no time. Sometimes we check the sales for particular month when we have the data. So you can just select how much mango we have exported, and how much beans, broccoli, carrots, and accordingly so I want to mango also and banana also. These are all items. You can see the item belongs to product. In product you can see three filtered are applied. So this is one actually way where you can showcase your data. And we did nothing, just created table, and then we just click slicers, and then we have done all that. Now you see the date has come back to normal. Now if you select that, so date also, this is the date. I want some more date, of that. You can see the data set like that, and you can remove the filter here also, and here also, guys. So now you can remove the filter from everywhere. So guys, I found you, I know this is amazing feature, and I hope you found this useful. And see more options available in that. So this is how we develop our slicers from the table we have available with the Excel file. You can see this is the table, you can see. And once you have the table available, you can easily insert the slicer. So it will come this way. And if you want to keep this slicer, suppose somewhere else, I'm selecting everything by pressing, you can hold the press, you can hold control key and select everything, control X. So control X means if you keep all the slicers here also. So if you filter France, so see that France is also filtered over there. So if you press broccoli, and now you see broccoli is also there, France broccoli. So guys, it works everywhere. You see the link, that you see the link. Actually, it works everywhere. If you go there, you can remove the filter. So now data has come back to normal. You can see data has come back to normal. So I hope you found this useful. Keep on practicing. This slicer we have already covered thoroughly. Now let me go back to my next things in my slide. This part is clear now. Let me go back to second part. Guys, understand how we can create the pivot table. To create pivot table, we have the shortcut key called Alt DP. Alt DP is the shortcut key which actually we can we can actually create the pivot table. So now understand this actually the range is created. Let me come out of this range. Convert range. This actually range is gone now. Now this has just this is just a simple data available with me. So how I can create the pivot table? So there are two things. If you have complete data set, you just do control A, and then you can just go to this is long cut, insert and pivot table. So now we have these options available. Select a table or dummy and select a table or range. So we have table slash range. We have the range. So you can select either table or range. So I will tell you both the ways. So now after you have created the pivot table, where you want to place this in the new worksheet or existing worksheet. If you click existing worksheet, so it will create whatever location you give over there. So it will create in the dummy data, but I don't want. I want maybe somewhere else in the new worksheet. So you can see this pivot table is created, and this part is called pivot cache, guys. Pivot cache. This is the pivot cache. So you see that pivot actually field is hidden. Now once you click right over there, show field list. You can see once you click this right, show field list. This is the field list. So this is the pivot table cache. You click anywhere, but once you click right on this cache, you can see these options. All right, show field list, and once you click that, hide field list. So once the field list is visible, the option goes changed. Show field list. Yes, field list is visible. Once you click again, right click, you see hide field list. So now you see that this is the pivot table we can create. Let me go and show you that next option. You can use pivot table shortcut key Alt DP. So now how you can remove this pivot table also from that. Understand now. I want to delete this pivot table. How you can delete this? You can just go to design and maybe go to analyze. So there is some option case select. You can see select entire pivot table, and now delete that. Guys, pivot table is deleted. All right. So you do control Z again. Pivot table is reflected here. All right. So if you go to analyze again, again we are going to analyze now. So guys, you know that we are going to our this. Once you click this, actually these two things are visible: analyze and design. If you click somewhere else, we have two tabs hidden. Now once you click that, they goes activated. Now you go to analyze, and you just explore these options like select, or maybe you can see clear all. If you clear all, nothing actually clear. It is all formatting. If you see uh, entire pivot table, so you can just delete this thoroughly. So pivot table is deleted, guys. You see that you are clicking anywhere, okay, but once you click right, nothing is coming up. So I'm doing control Z again. So this is my pivot table, and now the thing is that we have the option called country and amount. Let me show you the data. So the question is the country we have there and amount is there. So we want amount country wise, guys. Very simple. So let me tell you why we are making pivot table here that can also be done with formulas. So if I talk about I want total amount country wise. So let me tell you group by amount. Group by amount. We can use sum if function, guys. That has already been covered. Sum if. So you can use equal to sum if. Why I'm creating this? Because then you can easily make out the difference that pivot table can get you the result in just seconds. And if you have to create kind of pivot table with the formula, you have to take time and create all the functions. So what is my range? Sum if I'm applying. This is actually my range. Press F4. Press F4. Sorry. Actually, we have to press Control backspace and then press F4 to log the range. Now, this is my sum. What is the criteria? This is my criteria, guys. because I have to drag the function. So what I'm doing now, I'm calculating now the United States total amount. Now this is actually my total range. You can press Control backspace and again press F4, guys. Now let me tell you something. If United States is available in the second row, you can see on in the fourth row it is also available. So the result will always be same wherever United States is found. You can see that if you drag this, so United States is here, the result will always be same because we actually are telling this formula, tell me the total count of United States. Of course, here also, if you see Canada, 94745. So wherever Canada is repeated, this amount will always be same. So if you convert this value, Control C, Alt Control V, this is the value. Actually, if you look at these two items, and let me take somewhere else, Control V, and now you have one option called remove duplicate. If you go to data, you have removed duplicate. So now this tool actually knows that this dialog box knows that your data has headers, so it has actually selected. If you don't select, it will include the header also. If you deselect that, it will remove the header. Now it is asking what you want to delete the data country wise or amount wise. Guys, if you do that way, result will always be same. But guys, if you do other way around, like remove duplicate, if you leave both the options selected, again you have the same, because this is a unique key. All right, this is the result which we are getting now through the formula, guys. Through the formula we are getting this result. Now let me paste this value over there. You can see this is through the formula we are getting. Understand? Let me merge this, go to home, merge, and type over there formula. Formula. Through formula we are getting this result, guys. Okay, so let me highlight this with the color. Now let me put the border, Alt HBA. So please stay connected. There are lots of things which are going to be covered in this session. Now you see this is the formula result which we have created. Now let's do the same job with pivot table, guys. So country, if you see that in the row we have the country. All right. So what does it call? If you see structured query language or SQL language, how do we call this? You know, we need the amount group by country. So group by country, we need the amount. Group by country, you can say group by country, amount is created. All right. So over here, if you have the country, drag to the rows, and values means the amount you have to put in the value. By default, you are getting these values in sum. But if you have to do in count or max, you can do that way. But here we need to have sum by default. So you have to ensure it should be sum. So now you see that France 1410516. Maybe you can apply VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP we have already covered. If you see this value, we are searching, in this value, in this table. You can press F4 and then second value we need index and then 0. Now you see the result is same. And now you see the total actually is not coming, but I told you how to calculate total, Alt plus. So you can see the result. Total is also same. You can see both the values are same. So which option is better? Guys, which option is better? We have created a helper column with the formula group by amount or group by country. Group by country you can write. Group by country, we have created this amount by using SUMIF function. But if you use pivot table, you can have multiple ways. So now if you want group by country, the count, very simple actually. You can actually put the country over there. You can see the total count of country. All right. So count of country, you can see this is the one. All right, this is clear. And now if you want a date also in the rows, you can drag the date also. So you have multiple ways. So how you say that I need, total amount group by country and count also group by country. This is also same. And how beautiful the pivot table is created in just couple of seconds. So now let me take you my PPT again. What else is covered now? So this part is clear. Alt DP. Alt DP is the shortcut key. So now let me go and select the tab, select the pivot table and delete it. Select the pivot table, entire pivot table and delete. So we have deleted the pivot table, guys. Pivot table is thoroughly deleted, and this is the result. Now the question is how we can create the pivot table with the shortcut key Alt DP. So you know that, you select everything and Alt DP. Alt DP, you have the pivot table available with you. Finish. So pivot table cache is created, and again you can select the country and amount. So this is the amount, but this time I want country to be in the filtered. So if you have the filter, you can select the entire things, and you can select I want France and Germany with both the total. So France and Germany both the total we have 296,224. So now if you see that country, if you keep in the rows, or maybe you can see the result, because whatever option you have selected will come according to that. And accordingly you can keep for category also in the filter criteria. So you can filter I want only fruit for all the country. This is the thing which has been kind of imported or exported, whatever. And you can see after you have deselected vegetables, and you can see that is a vegetable things. So filter option is also available with us here, and you can see order ID. Order ID you can keep in rows, and you can actually see that what actually the data you need. Accordingly you can prepare your data. So let me jump to now next thing. So this part is clear. Alt DP, actually we this is a shortcut we use to create the pivot table, guys. Okay, let me go back to next. So uh, pivot table and show country wise count. This is clear, and we have done that. Count also we have covered, guys. All right. Now let me go this part, that create pivot table, show group by category and country. Let's do that way. And now group by country and category. It is up to us. So let's remove everything. You can just put on the top. So what is the question here? Group by country and category. So you can see that. Uh, let's do something. Uh, Remove everything. Okay. Now if you select the country in the rows, so group by country and category count. So category count, and you can see this. Okay, and now you can keep this amount there. And what we can do here, you actually group by, this is actually group by. And 1 minute, we have some kind of stuff. All right, so now you see if you go to option, guys, you actually go to display and make this classic pivot table layout. So once you click this entire thing comes this way. But you, yes, this was the filter which was applied earlier. Now it looks better. So after we have made these changes and we are making that, so there is option. If you click somewhere else, you go to design, subtotals, do not show subtotals. Now you see this is the pivot table we have created. This is called group by country and category. So for Australia we have fruit and vegetables. So fruit this much and vegetables this much. For France we have fruit, vegetables this amount and this amount. For United States we have this and this. So group by it has created the stuff easily. But if you have to apply some ifs function, it actually takes lots of time, and the presentation will not be that much good what we can see on pivot table here. So you can see it this way. And let me show you some other options. If you drag this category on the top, maybe drag this. Let's read that, because this is the formatting it will keep. So you know that, select again entire pivot table and delete it. All right, so entire pivot table is deleted now. So let me do that again. Go to the data. So Alt DP is the shortcut key to create the pivot table. All right, finish. So now this is the data. I have the country in rows and I have the amount. Guys, understand, you know, what we can do with this data. So this is clear now. Now let me go to this. So repeat item labels and everything. Classic pivot table we have done. And let me go there in the last slide. Show value as percentage of grand total. So in this pivot table, what we can do, show show the values as show the values percentage of grand total. If you right click over there, guys, if you right click over there, you have the sort options also, smallest to largest. You can see the sorting is also possible here. All right, you can see the sort largest to smallest. This is amazing. If you see sort, A to Z, so this is also the way you can sort in the pivot table. But now the question is, I want to show values as the percentage of grand total. So once you have clicked that, the entire value we got this way. But that original value is also lost. This should be the percentage. All right, maybe you can do something. Just Control Z. You can actually, in this case, you can drag the amount again, guys. Okay, and here you can show value as percentage grand total. So this way also you can show your data. So you have the country, you have the amount, and you have this percentage, and you can rename that, guys, also, like uh, percent. So you can also keep this data this way. All right, and again you can filter this, sort, maybe sort the largest to smallest. So we haven't applied any formula. Actually, this is 25% of total things. So let me validate that. This actually divide by this amount. You can see this is 25%. And the shortcut key, uh, so Control Shift 5 is the shortcut key to apply the percentage. All right. So this is actually, now you have to tell me this is wrong. Why this is wrong? Because I tell you something. See, the area is locked over there. So you have to press F4. You have to unlock that. Okay. You have to unlock this, and again you have to unlock this also. Press F4. So there are lots of ways. If you get the result this way, that is perfect. But again, it is get the same result. So what easily you can do? This is my B4. You can type B4 divide by, and this data B11. B11. You can do that way. That way the result will be perfect, guys. So now you see B4 to B11. So here you have to lock this function. Press F4 once. Now if you drag this function, it will be correct. All right, and then you have to Control Shift 5. Control Shift 5 is the key which actually apply the format. Control Shift 5. It actually converts the value in percentage format. Okay, so this way also you can do lot more things, guys. Lot more things we can do with this way. And let me jump to my this. And one more thing, let me remove that percent. Remove this percent, and let me remove this also. We can actually show this value actually running total. You can have these options available with you, per parent row total. So you can see this much. And if you go summarize value as count, so this values you are getting count. Control Z. Yes, now if you go there, summarize values as count. So whatever value you have, by doing this way, kind of, you're selecting everything. So you can just select over there also summarize value as max. So this is the value you are getting, like that. So we have lots of options available. You can actually explore, show details, value field setting, and so on. Let me show you one more things. uh, let me remove this. Let me show you one particular case. Suppose this is actually going to be very interesting, guys. If you have the data, if someone asks you, I need category wise data to be spread in all the tabs, how you can do that? Will not you do this way? Like you are categorize the data, like maybe if you have products. Okay, so someone is asking you, he wants product wise data in all the tabs. So you will copy everything, and then you will paste over there. Then again you will come here, and you will apply next filter for banana. Again you copy and paste in the different tabs. This activity you have to perform almost 7 times. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 times. So to avoid that, can we do something so that we can avoid these things? How we can do that task? So again I'm telling you, Alt DP is the shortcut key to create the pivot table. So we are going to show you something. So product, you can apply product over there. Of course, we have these items, you have the values, and you have the countries. So product and countries are there. You have the categories also, you can select this way, and order ID also you can keep over there. So now, as I told you, you click this and go to analyze, go to options. In the options, you have a function called in display classic pivot table layout. Once you click this, everything comes this way. Guys, understand this data looks really different here. So can we make this kind of some decoration or some kind of formatting? If you click this, you go to analyze again. This time you go to field setting. In the field setting, you have the options called repeat item labels. If you click this, now you see the difference. And again, you click this option, go to field settings, and now you go to layout and print repeat item labels. You see this also comes this way, but we don't want this kind of total or something, as we have already discussed. See, if you click anywhere, maybe you can go to design and you can see subtotal. Don't show subtotals. This actually looks better, guys. Correct? Here you have the repeat item labels. See, there are lots of ways to present your data, but this actually is the most preferred. It actually looks like data, where you can see, order ID, group by country, category, and total amount is this. So, everything is awesome. But now, if you really want to go to design again, or maybe analyze, you can see some options over there. There is show report filter pages, guys. So now the requirement is that if you have 7 product items, all right, which you saw in the database, so 7 product item you can see apple, banana, beans. So I want all the values filtered in the different worksheets. How you can do that? Click this way and go to analyze, go to option and show report filter pages. So now you see one kind of new thing is happening. Immediately it has created all the tabs down. So you see that apple is there, banana is there, beans is there, broccoli is there, carrot is there, mango is there, orange is there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Guys, within couple of seconds it has created all the tabs. All right, so you see that. So now see this way, and this is the main tab, guys. Let me delete all the tabs which we just created from apple to orange. I'm deleting in front of. So again, I'm telling you this requirement. This is one of my favorite topics in pivot table. If you have suppose 100 items, maybe if you have 500 items, assume you have 500 items, okay. And sometimes the requirement from client comes that way, that you have to give all the data in different tabs. See, requirement could be anything. Trust me, requirement could be anything. You have to understand and serve the requirement. Requirement could be anything, and client is of course on the top. Whatever they ask you for the data or work in terms of office things or report, we have to give them transparency about the data. If they ask for presentation in a different way, we have to give them. So here, this is the platform where I'm helping you to understand Excel basics with multiple varieties available in Excel, can help you become the champion. So let's start again. The criteria, the question is, we want all the data, like we have 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We want all the 7 tabs created with all the filtered values. How you can do that? See, you are clicking somewhere else. If you click this, you can see immediately analyze and design tab is created. If you click somewhere else, nothing actually happens. If you click again, you see analyze and design tab is activated. So if you go to analyze, you can see the option filter is available. You can see show report filter pages. So you know that sheet 11, and let me delete all the tabs unnecessarily. It is just creating the confusion. See, if you have to delete all the tabs in one go, just press shift and then go towards the end and then select this, and then you can delete all the selected tabs. So now we are left with only 2 tabs. Sheet 1, which we have the data, and sheet 11 where we have the pivot table. Again we click this, we go to analyze tab, and then we are creating show report filter pages, guys. If you click this and see the result down, all the tabs are created, guys. Okay, so now this is what we have achieved through pivot table. So this actually we have done in a new workbook. Let me close this workbook. I hope this is clear to you guys. Let me tell you some more things and go back to my slide. So we have covered everything whatever we have. So we have lot more things to cover. Let me see this. All right. So now I have one more things to tell you. Let me go to my. There are some main topics actually we have to cover. So you can see over there we have create pivot chart is there, add slicer is there. We have covered everything. Group by, clear all filters. There are two more things are there. Calculated field is there. Calculated item is there, guys. So let me show you what is calculated field. Let me take this data somewhere else, and please try to understand this part very carefully. I need your focus here. So again you press alt dp. Remember this shortcut alt dp to create the pivot table. You can finish it. Now you see the amount we are putting there and country also are putting here. So we have to create one more column. Calculated field means we have to create one more column. So maybe we can create some kind of text or something according to our requirement. This is a basic example I have cited. So you can click this, you can see analyze and design tab is created. If you click somewhere else, the tab is hidden. If you click again, you see both the tabs, analyze and design is there. If you click somewhere, it is gone. If you click this, it is there, analyze and design. So now you go to analyze tab, you can see filled items and sets. You can click on calculated field. Guys, understand over there, I want to create the tax. calculated calculated tax. So how to calculate the tax, guys? So simple. I want I can tell if criteria I can use if this equal to Canada. If this equal to Canada, I want 10% of amounts. So maybe amount 10%. Guys, understand one thing. Percent is stored as number in our Excel file. So if I tell about 10%, so that is stored 0.10 in the Excel file. If I tell about 1%, it is stored 0.01 in Excel file. If I tell you 50%, it is stored 0.50 in Excel. All right. So try to understand these values. If I talk about 10%, it is 0.10. All right. If I talk about 1%, it is stored 0.001 in Excel file. So now we want to charge 10%. So we have to put 1.10. Okay. Else we are telling the amount maybe 20%. Just assume that 0.20 and then close the bracket. So you can see this way you can create your kind of tax. See, we are telling in this formula. If you, now you don't know what is the formula, guys. So it is very simple. You go there and list formulas. So you can list all those formulas in new tab. It is created where it will tell you the formula you applied this way. If country equal to Canada, 10% tax should be levied. If other than Canada, 20% tax will be charged. So this is how you can create your own calculated field, guys. This is called calculated field. It can be anything if you have proper data. So if you go again to analyze, you can see calculated field. You have to drag those things which you want, maybe. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing. Like if see, you can see anything. It is tax or maybe it is kind of length or something. So that you can do that. Maybe try that another also. Text to length, text length. Maybe you can try that way. Equal to. Let's try if it works. If length of country, okay, greater than 6. So you tell yes. Else no. The result will come or not. So result is not coming, because calculated field works on the numbers. All right, so you can see that is not coming, guys. Okay, So you have to understand this part very carefully, like why it is not working. It is not working because sum of text, it comes in the value, so it will not work. So that actually we created purposely to help understand when you talk about calculated field, it actually works on the basis of the item and this value pass in the value item. In the value only number will go. So try to understand that. So this part is clear, guys. Okay. Now let me tell you how to create the calculated item. Calculated item could be anything. Maybe you can make the group of these three guys. I mean, you can make the group of these three guys. You're telling these three guys, yeah, these two guys will give me this much tax, and these two guys will give me this much tax, and so on. You can make accordingly. Let me remove this sum of calculated tax somewhere else. So maybe you can select this way, and now you go to calculated item. In the calculated item, you can put that uh, tax one. All right, in the tax one you can tell maybe I want France and I want Germany. So these two guys will give me 30% tax. So 0.30 you can add, or maybe you can add this way also, guys. 30%. All right, sorry, 30% you can mention this way, and then you can put percent as percent sign also. Let's see it is works. So now you see it is working. So you can see the formula, it is available. 30% of France and Germany. So France and Germany, but 30% of these two values. If you do this plus this, what amount we are getting? These two value 29. 30% of this means this multiplied 0.30. So 88. You can see this value is very much available here. So now you can go again and filter calculate item. You can make a tax too. So you can make accordingly lots of items. This time I want to charge 10%. Maybe you can write this way 10% you can charge and press asterisk and then bracket. I want to charge this from New Zealand and plus United States. So you see the result now tax 2 is coming. So tax 2 result is also coming this way. So you can, they are all basic examples which we have covered today in this calculated field and calculated items in pivot table. But these are the basics which can help you understand, explore more. Please write your own functions and understand and explore more on pivot tables. There are lots of things which actually you can understand. And now let me cover this also, change data source. If you click this, you can actually change the data source also if you have some different range or something. And one more thing I have to tell you, once you see the data range, which is just fixed, but data if you have more every time you have to change the data source, maybe you have to increase the size of the range. So now let me tell you another way which can help you. Just convert this into table, press Ctrl T, and this is the magic. If you pass this table 2 in the pivot table, whether you have more data or you keep on adding the data, that will always be pivot table now. Sorry, table 2 now. It is actually dynamic. If I write something over there, 2176, you see that once I write there, automatically this part is admitted in pivot table, in table actually. If you write any item, immediately it is admitted in table. So this is part of table. So once you write anything, it keeps on adding to the table format. It is dynamic. So now you create the pivot table, which has 216 records. So after pivot table is created, if you have some more, you keep on adding, that will again refresh the pivot table. Everything will be included in that. So once you have the table format, you don't need to worry about range. So table range is like very dynamic. So if you create the pivot table now, Alt DP. So now see that design. So Alt DP. You select this, pivot table is created, guys. Now if you put that amount, if you have the country, so this is the value. All right, tax 1, tax 2, whatever. Now I'm adding some more values in my data. So this is my pivot table, guys. Okay, I'm going down. I'm putting some values over there. Maybe I'm copying the same row, all right, and same row. So you can see Australia amount I am increasing. See that this much amount I'm increasing. If you refresh this, you know Australia amount 131713. If you refresh this, Australia amount is increased now because this is dynamic, and this is just one time you have given this range in this pivot table. This is the one F216. All right. So if you see somewhere else where we have created the pivot table, it will keep on increasing the range. So now if you see that 216, I'm putting one more item and Control D, and this time I'm putting United States. So if I put United States, so now the range is 217. If you go to the pivot table, you can see the range, what range it is selected now, 217. So automatically the range also gets, kind of auto resize. So it keeps on automatically refresh the pivot table. Now you refresh, it actually goes better. So this session is almost over about pivot tables. We have explored and did lots of pivot table creations. We have created our own calculated items, fields, double click, group dates, and everything. Remove the you know clear all filters, and we can do lots of things in that. So let me show you one more things before we move on. So if you have a pivot table, guys, let me show you something. All right. Okay, so let me show you one more example on the pivot table. Suppose this is the pivot table. I'm going to create Alt DP again for you. Why we are creating one by one, so that you will remember everything, how we can do these things, amount and country. Now, if you have to show detail, pivot table options, show value as, sorting is there. So now you have to do number formatting over there. You can see the formatting is available number format. All right. So you can just, select anything, number format. You can number format this way, guys. But if you do this way, when number format is there, no, format cells is there. So that part is also available here. But if you do this way, okay, so it will apply easily. I want currency. So you can put the currency. So, the thing is that if you do this way, control one, currency, so that's not actually recommended. You can see that is okay, but over here also currency is applied, okay, but we don't want. So control Z. But if you go by this channel, number format, you can apply the currency what you want, or maybe you want Indian rupees, or maybe you want English dollar or whatever, US dollar. So you can see it is applied only to the pivot table, guys. So this is all about pivot tables we have covered today, and thank you very much, guys, for watching this. Have a good day. Bye bye.